Welcome back guys to another Northern Lizard video, and today I'm doing a tutorial on how you guys can get the most helpful resources such as organic polymer, silica pearls, metal, and cementing paste. Now these are probably the safest locations. I'm not covering all of them, just the safest ones and best ones, so you guys don't end up having to deal with hostile creatures. And if you find this helpful, please like and subscribe. Now, with this metal spawn, I'm a bit far away from it because I wanted to just tell you guys that I decided to do tutorials because I've been doing a whole bunch of metal runs, and this map's still very new, and I've been trying to find my own tutorials and could not find any that match under this description. So I decided to take it upon myself to go around the map on my own and find locations for you guys. If you have any other tutorial videos that might not be out for the center map, let me know. I might be doing a rare flower and rare mushroom one here later. I honestly just want to see where this goes, and if you guys really do like these tutorials and find them helpful, then I'll keep on making them as long as I get likes, subscribes, just a sign or comments that you guys want more tutorials. Anyways, we're on our first metal spawn here. Now, our metal spawn will be down in the southern jungle, up on this mountain. You can kind of see there's a spire, and there's a little bit of a land bridge from another cliff. Now, this singled out piece of land is not good only for building, but also metal. Because the thing with the building, it's all on its own. But we're not here to talk about that, we're here to talk about the metal. So, with the metal here, I myself go here personally sometimes if I'm not feeling like going all the way to other metal spots. Because this is still really good, like on the server I'm on it 3 times, so the weight isn't that great for carrying. So usually around here would be good to pick up. Sadly, someone seemed to have already picked all the metal up, which is kind of sad, but now, at this next spot, I'm going to be located on the middle island here. And right here on this little plateau specifically is a lot of metal. As you can see, I'm on the more eastern side, northeast. And on this little spire here, leading all the way up to the top of this mountain, is a lot of metal. Now, all the metal here, you could probably end up getting around, I don't know, if you're on official rates, you could probably end up getting about like 10k metal or so on this. I find this pretty useful as well. I'll go here occasionally myself. Now, there are T-Rexes and a lot of Carnos and Ceratosauruses that spawn here. But, I mean, if you guys do come well prepared, you should be fine to gather all the metal here, and you get plenty depending on your server rates. Yeah, as you can see here, I mean, there's just a giant T-Rex and Ceratos poisoning everything, so you would have to be careful and come well prepared for this. Maybe bring like something like a pocket Giga or like a pocket Rex or a pocket Theory even. Now this next spot, it seems dangerous, but it's actually not horribly dangerous. It's going to be located at these coordinates inside of a lava volcano. Now, I will say one thing. If you go in the lava, it won't instantly kill you. It only does a slight bit of tick. Like, you probably swim in it for a minute, actually, with your player. So don't worry about falling in lava, and as you can see, it's to the right of these 2 big spires. And you'll see that there's numerous entrances, and we'll be taking only, I believe, the left one here is the one that you're meant to be taking to get to the metal. Or maybe they all connect. I'm not 100% sure. I just got told on a whim that this was good by one of my buddies. Okay. I think that this is the area. I'm starting to see some metal rocks, yeah. Okay. So here we are. This cave right here, as I had posted the coordinates, is probably my favorite cave that I've only done it once, but it was pretty good. I've only figured it out recently. Probably going to keep hitting it up, but if you keep going down in the cave, like if you take the entrance behind me, you will be able to find a lot more metal, but it gets more and more dangerous as you keep going down. So if you stay around this area that I'm flying, then you would probably be in a very good position. Just nab all this metal and then go. But if you got pretty good Ankies, then you could bring an Anki down here and you could probably just kill all the enemies and then run through and then just gather all your metal, bring it back to base, and make your tribe happy. Now, the other thing I will say is the metal is kind of spread out thin, so you do have to run around a little bit. So that is the one thing I will say. And as you can see here, here's the coordinates. And there we go. So those are the coordinates of the cave. Hopefully, this was, I mean, for me, this was my favorite metal spot. And as you can see, I'm getting plenty of metal in this little cluster, but this is about the only cluster in this entire cave. You'll get lucky if you can find these. But this is probably a high PvP area as well, so be careful of that. Now this spot here is probably the only viable spot for organic polymer. The only other one would be in the like under area off the west edge of the map by the ice castle. But even then, on this server that I'm on, someone built there, so I can't really showcase you guys that, or else I might get shot. So, I'm right now flying towards this little island here. Now, usually there are a tendency of a lot of penguins. There could be only a few penguins, or there could be all the penguins in the water. It depends on what the spawn cycle's like here. But if I don't spot any penguins here, they should all be in the water. Now, mind you, there are piranhas here, but this is probably the only source of organic polymer if no one has built on Ice Castle. Ice Castle can have a few penguins, not a whole lot, but a few. So as you can see here, the ice doesn't seem to have any penguins yet. But like I did say, cycles do matter on this, whether they be in the water, land, or half and half. So it is kind of an RNG based thing, but if you do see a whole bunch on here, then you will be able to kind of like get a whole bunch. If you only even got a club, you could probably get like 3k out of this. I once was able to do that. This is also a pretty good spot for Spinos, as you could see earlier. It's a bit of a nifty spot. It's got some of the only land oil you'll ever find that's in a safe location. And I mean, overall, this isn't really a bad location. If I were to come here, I mean, it's pretty fun looking. I mean, there's not really any like enemies or anything like that. There's the Spinos out there, and in the water when you're hunting for the penguins, it's mega piranhas. So it's not really that bad, but it's it's something I wouldn't want to do all day, is go around in this area. So with that being said, make sure you bring either a club or a chainsaw to this area. Those are probably the two best ways of gathering polymer on foot. If you want to use a dino, I would recommend bringing either a Therizino or a Mozchops. Now those two creatures are probably the best for gathering organic polymer if you don't feel like going by hand. However, this is very, very, very like kind of bumpy terrain. It's got a lot of holes in it. So I would probably bring a creature with you rather than, or not bring a creature, sorry. Go on foot, then bring a creature with you. Because the creature might get stuck in the water, stuck on some ice, and you might get like, I don't know, ganged up on by mega piranhas or even those Spinos over there. So yeah, just come here by hand. I mean, it's not a horrible way of doing it. I mean, you're a lot safer off and you won't like die or anything. And there's, these oil rocks here. I think in total there's only about 10 though. Now, we are at our first silica pearl spawn. This is at the far eastern side of the river on the more south one in the jungle. Now, this river right here kind of spans out throughout the entire river. It's all silica pearls, but it kind of starts at this area, and then you work your way down. I'm just going to be doing a little bit of this area here and speeding it up with the anglerfish. But you'll see as I go through that I will be getting plenty of silica pearls. So as you guys can see here, I will be accessing my anglerfish, and I am on normal rate, so this amount of Silica Pearl 700, that's not bad for just a small part of this lake. Now this right here is the second silica spawn. Now, one thing I will note is that this one is a little bit more dangerous. It is densely packed with manta rays. I never consider them dangerous because they're very easy to kill. So, I mean, there is a few occasional megalodons, but just don't go near basilosauruses on this and you should be fine. The anglerfish is faster than everything in here, so as long as you can maneuver or run away in time, you should be all good to go. But if you do run into maybe like a whole bunch of things like megalodons and manta rays, then I would probably recommend on bringing a stronger angler like a breeding line baby. Anyways, I'm going to show you guys how you can get a whole bunch. Also, to see in water better, turn on our volumetric cloud and fog 0. These are both extremely helpful. As you can see, I can see clear as day in the water. So, always bring spare flippers and scuba goggles as well. I'll be showing how many silicas I can get from here. Okay, so those are all the silicas I had decided to grab from here. And out of all those small amount of silicas, I will be showing you guys very soon as I get to land. Oh, is that a bass? This is one place I didn't mention her. Oh, max level. Well, that's pretty good. I might team that later, but back to the video. I'll be showing you guys how many silicas I got. This is also a good place for deep sea creatures like the basso. So, just do keep that in mind that you can get some pretty good deep sea creatures here. Anyways, as you can see, I have gotten basically 2 stacks of silica pearls off of just this one little area. This isn't even the entire ocean. So as you guys can see, I'm now at one of the many jungle ponds that has beaver dams. So, at these little ponds here, you'll usually end up getting about like 2 to 4 beaver dams per pond, depending on the amount of beavers and their level. The higher the level, the more chance of having a higher dam ratio. So, as you can see here, I'm going to look through, and there are beavers, in fact, in this pond, so no one has cycled it. There is Xenos do spawn here as well, so be careful of how you harvest this cementing paste. So step 1 is you always want to kind of kill the beavers. So with these beavers, they tend to like kind of hunt in a family or a pack. Right now, I'm going to hop out and see if I can't spot any beaver dams, though, after I kill all these. Just to double check, you always want to make sure. As you can see, there are beaver dams, like that one dead ahead of me. And then that is one right behind that rock. I believe that is all the ones I see in the water. Which is still a good amount. That's still a healthy amount too. As long as it's not 1, then you're fine. You know, at least get like 500 or like 300 cementing paste, which is still very useful. Okay. So, as you can see here, this is the map of all the spawns in the jungle specifically. These are the safest options. And as you can see here, I collect all and run back to the RG. And then what you're going to want to do here is the fighting part. And hopefully that turtle bystander doesn't get in the way. So what you do usually is RGs are good for this because you can just pick them up and then you can just eat them. It's a very, very efficient way of killing them rather than using like a Pteranodon sea spin or something. You can just separate them and keep them away from one another so they don't get mate boosted. There are plenty of beavers, I will mention that, so the kind of like excursion part is usually the annoying part because of how many there are and how maneuverable these little guys are. So usually this could take up to about like maybe a minute or two, but it shouldn't end up taking too long because I mean they're just beavers after all, they're nothing like killing T-Rexes or anything. And that is another thing is silica spawns are also kind of on beaver dams, so if you guys don't feel like you have an anglerfish or you want to go tame an anglerfish or anything like that, and you guys also don't want to have to go handpick in deep waters like I had showed you, usually going around and cycling all the jungle ponds can usually have you end up with like a stack in no time. So as you can see here, I think I have all the beavers now dead. And I believe that I am all good to now go in the water and get my last little beaver dam. Okay, so where is it? I could have sworn it was here somewhere out in the open. Oh, I think that, yeah, that's one of them. Gotta get my beaver dam and then I'll be back. Come on. Usually beaver dams can be a little bit tucked away, and considering I'm at night, water is very dark. So it's a little hard to see where you're trying to get your beaver dam. I'm trying to get my Archie over here so I can get out. Okay, so last beaver dam, found it right behind this rock. So I'm gonna be ready to get out of here. No more beaver dams. I think this is it, yeah. Okay, so pick this beaver dam. Drop the wood though, you always want to make sure that you're still lightweight. And now I should be all good. There we go. And this should be a mission completed. Now this beaver dam I probably used to leave alone. Should be all good to go. Anyways, as you can see, I got 330 cement and paste and a few rare. If you guys found this very helpful, like and subscribe, comment what you want to see down below. And I hope to see you guys in the next Northern Lizard video, whether it be tutorial or let's play. Have a good day and bye-bye.